American infrastructure probably since Eisenhower decided with Congress in the 1950s to build the interstate highway system. It also, it does so many things in the infrastructure space: road, rail, bridges, trails, airport improvements. We've been doing a number of airport announcements, for example, recently with the Chesapeake Airport, broadband, renewed power grid, clean energy. So much has been done in the infrastructure bill. How about this? Funding for 500,000 charging stations around the country so that we can build out electric vehicles. The funding in the infrastructure bill would fall into two broad categories. Funds that go to states or local governments just by a formula. There's no competition to those, and these dollars will be significant over the next 5 to 8 years and will provide other opportunities for the mayor and the local officials in Portsmouth. But the second kinds of funds are the sexy ones, but the hard ones, the competitive grants. RAISE is a competitive grant administered by the Department of Transportation at the federal level to focus on transportation improvements that have an equity or sustainability angle. There were more than 1,000 applications for the first $2.2 billion worth of RAISE grants. 166 communities received RAISE grants, and Portsmouth in this High Street corridor improvement was one of the ones that beat the odds and made it happen. Now, so, and significant dollars, $19.3 million for this project, which when combined with the local match, fully funds this vision that the mayor and council and Carl Jackson, the transportation manager and city manager, and others were sharing the vision with us, and we're really excited to see it. But it's so good to be, as a nation, back in the infrastructure business again. And just to emphasize, Portsmouth beat the odds to win this money. The project's now fully funded, but we're not stopping here. It's so good that we have both Representative Delegate Scott and Senator Lucas here, because the dollars that go to the state, not the competitive grants, there is still going to be some competition within the state for those dollars. And so Congressman Scott, Senator Warner, and I, we're going to battle at the federal level to keep making sure that Portsmouth and our communities in Virginia win big chunks of these competitive grants. But the dollars that go to the state, you've got a great state delegation, very highly placed in leadership in the General Assembly, who can make sure that we get portions of those dollars too. Very happy to be with you. It's so nice to celebrate a great day in Portsmouth today.
Thank you, Senator Kaine. All right, now I'd like to introduce a man who has served Virginia's 3rd congressional districts for almost 30 years. Please welcome U.S. Congressman Bobby Scott.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandra, and good morning. It's great to be here in Portsmouth with Mayor Glover, members of council, Senator Lucas, Delegate Scott, and my colleague in Congress, Senator Kaine, for this great announcement. Last year, Congress passed and President Biden signed into law the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, often referred to as the bipartisan infrastructure law. This was a much-needed, long overdue investment in jobs in our economy as we rebuild America's infrastructure, including, as Tim just said, roads, bridges, transit, ports. We've already gotten significant investments in our ports, broadband, and charging stations so we can incentivize and support electric cars. For Virginia, the infrastructure law invests $7 billion in federal highway programs, more than $500 million for bridge replacement and repairs, $1.2 billion for improvement in public transportation. The law also is more than double the Rebuilding American Infrastructure, Sustainability, and Equity, the RAISE grant program from the Department of Transportation. That's why we're here today to celebrate Portsmouth winning $19.3 million for the complete High Street Innovation Corridor project. This innovation corridor will include an upgraded sidewalks, high visibility crosswalks to ensure that the corridor can be utilized safely by automobiles, pedestrians, cyclists, and other transit users. In addition, the installation of the raised median will improve stormwater management and enhance the resilience of infrastructure located in the High Street corridor that is currently vulnerable to tidal flooding. Senator Kaine and I were pleased to work with the city to support their grant application with the Department of Transportation and Senator Warner. Senator Warner's not here, so I mentioned Senator Kaine. Senator Warner is represented. And all of you should be proud of this accomplishment, because the fact that we had to compete with so many and came out on top is testimony to the kind of project that was put together by the city of Portsmouth. So I want to thank all of the local leaders and state leaders here for making this possible, and again congratulate the entire Portsmouth community on this great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Scott. Next up is a woman who has represented the 18th District of Virginia for more than 30 years. She is the current President pro tempore of the Senate of Virginia. Please welcome State Senator Louise Lucas.
Thank you so very much. This is a very proud day in Portsmouth, and I can tell you over the last couple of years, we have experienced many, many proud days in Portsmouth because a lot is going on in our city. This is the home of my birth, and I could not be happier to see a project like the one that our federal delegation has brought to us. And in terms of repeating what they've already said, I couldn't say it more eloquently than what's already been said, but I just want to thank everybody for showing up. Congressman Scott, my Senator Kaine, you know, I've served with him in so many capacities. I just want to thank you, and please relay my thanks also to Senator Warner for the very good work that you've done in Congress, and also for helping Portsmouth to realize this dream today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Lucas. Next up is the newly elected minority leader of the Virginia House of Delegates, who also represents the 80th District. Please welcome State Delegate Don Scott.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is a great day for Portsmouth. This is what it's about. You know, Portsmouth is winning. Yeah. You know, a lot of folks say, you know, what we can't do, but look at what we can do. When we get the right team together, led by our mayor, our council supported this project, our leadership, obviously our great congressional delegation led by our senior senator, Mark Warner, and our great Senator Tim Kaine, and what Louise Lucas, Senator Louise Lucas has been doing for Portsmouth for years is bringing home the bacon. I'm happy to be on this team where we get the opportunity to show that when we put in the hard work, we can compete with anybody across the nation to get the projects that we need here so desperately in Portsmouth funded. So I won't keep you very long. I just want to say Portsmouth is winning. Get that down. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Scott. So now you are aware of the wonderful announcement here in Portsmouth. I'm sure that you all have a lot of questions. We do have a little bit of time here for question and answer, so I'm going to ask the mayor to come back up. Also want to thank all the council members who are here today for this announcement as well.
And before I open for question and answers, I'm going to ask Mr. Carl Jackson, who's on our city staff, who is a planner, who is very instrumental in this effort. And would you come forward, Carl? And I want to recognize, a lot of times our staff don't get recognized for the work that they put in, but our staff is working diligently every day to make sure that Portsmouth is winning, and we'll continue to do that. So once again, thank you all for attending, and now we will entertain any questions at this time. Yes, ma'am.
I understand this is a great announcement today, a big investment. Is there any timeline on the plans at this moment?
Yes. Carl, could you come forward and address some of these concerns? See, I know my role, so Carl's going to do what they're addressing.
Well, yes, approximately 6 to 8 months before we receive the funding, and of course the funding goes to our federal and state partners at VDOT and FHWA. Once that funding is received, we could start, pre-engineering and design probably early in 2023, in the spring of 23, and construction would take about 2 to 3 years.
Can you talk about just a little more about the project and what the citizens of Portsmouth are going to see one day?
Yes. Well, I could say for me, I started working, in Portsmouth in 2018, and I noticed, As soon as you crossed Effingham on High Street, it felt like the magic end. You know, you were leaving the urban, vibrant center that is downtown Portsmouth, and we're trying to extend that further all the way down to the MLK Expressway. So our citizens will see, you know, wider sidewalks. You know, they're going to see landscape medians. You know, all the nice, wonderful things you see here in downtown, Old Town Portsmouth, are going to also be visible further down on High Street.
And how does this impact, you know, people who take public transportation, who may not be able to afford a car to go to and from, you know, a destination A and B? You know, how is that really impacting the commuters in that sense, and helping people maybe accept a job because then they can bike to it, walk to it, take public transportation?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. It is a multimodal project, so it does include you know, improved pedestrian accommodations, bicycle accommodations. There will be bus pull-offs. Hampton Roads Transit will be increasing bus service on bus route 47, which goes through the corridor, and we will finally be able to provide bus pull-off lanes so that citizens can safely get off the bus, you know, and ride the bus. There are also shelters that are in place along the corridor as well, so it's very multimodal.
What's being done to attract businesses to this corridor as it's being reconstructed?
We do have something called the Innovation District, you know, which was overlaid, superimposed in the district back in 2021, which provides incentives for businesses who are creative, doing sustainable, you know, developments to relocate into that area. I got one. Thank you. It's very hot.
We used to, so we're not sweating.
Right.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Don't let them go.
That's right.
Any other question? Okay, thank you.
Thanks again, everyone, for coming, and stay tuned for the forward progress. Have a great day.